Thank you. You know, Mr. Secretary and Mr. Chairman, my constituents aren't worried so much about mean tweets as they're worried and concerned about the impacts of the crisis on the border. So, under your leadership, DHS issued guidance that included using, for CBP agents and officers to use gender-neutral language and politically correct pronouns. Is that true?
Did I issue a memorandum to that effect? Is that what you're
guidance.
asking?
Did you? DHS issued guidance.
I'm not sure what piece of guidance.
DHS.gov.
If I may, to what guidance you're referencing, but that does reflect the principles that we are proud to advance.
Okay, so you don't recall issuing the guidance. I'll send that into the record without objection.
That objection.
You also ordered CBP and ICE to stop using the term alien, including scrubbing websites, guidance documents, and other materials. Is that true?
To be precise, unless the individuals are referencing the statutory language itself, we are using the term non-citizen to reflect the dignity of each individual.
Right, so I'll introduce 3 articles that support that statement as well. Did you tell the Conference of Mayors that unlawful presence in the United States will alone not be a basis for immigration enforcement actions?
The September 30th enforcement guidelines that I promulgated, Congressman, make a number of different statements with respect to 2 very core principles. Number 1 is the safe and effective use of limited resources.
Please hurry.
And the fact that many individuals who are unlawfully present in the United States have been contributing members to this country, and our resources should not be dedicated.
So are you denying that on January 20th, 2022, you told the U.S. Conference of Mayors the following, that unlawful, quote, unlawful presence in the United States will alone not be a basis for an immigration enforcement action?
I'm not denying that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
What I'm sharing with you, Congressman, is that
the rationale for it. Appreciate that.
That is drawn from my memorandum.
Right. So is it true that DHS has spent resources and time creating a strategic framework for addressing climate change, including the establishment of the Climate Change Professionals Program?
Yes, that is true, and we are addressing one of the most significant threats to the homeland.
And you've also...
We see that
yes.
in the increasing frequency
and
gravity.
Just have a couple seconds, right?
Yes, we see that in the increasing frequency. So
the question was yes or no. I appreciate you answering the question. You said yes, you did. Next question.
We see that in the increasing gravity and frequency.
Right, I understand that. That's your rationale, but you and I have had this discussion, okay? So did you also release the first ever equity action plan?
Yes, and very proudly so.
Great. So here's the deal, Mr. Secretary. Well, let me just ask you another question. I think this is an interesting question too. Will you commit to oppose any form of amnesty or modification of legal status of those who are in this country illegally who have entered during your tenure?
Only Congress can provide legal status through the laws. We administer the laws.
Would you oppose that? We're not talking about who passes laws or not. We're just talking about your philosophy as the DHS Secretary. Would you support amnesty or modification of legal status?
Congressman, I fully support and have for many years legislative reform that once and for all fixes our broken immigration system.
So I'll take it that you won't make that statement now.
No, I actually will if you would allow me. And
we got just a few seconds, so speed it up, please.
And that involves a path to citizenship for those who have been in this country for many years, who've been contributing
Very good.
to the well-being of our country.
So the answer is you would support amnesty of some kind. So you said that that the border's closed and secure. You've said today you're following every law. You understand, don't you, that the law, Secure Fence Act of 2006, you're in total violation of that. Operational control. You don't have the border under operational control, do you? Section 2. What does it say? It says in this section, operational control means the prevention of all unlawful entries into the U.S., including entries by terrorists, etc. You're not preventing entries. You're fomenting entries. You're encouraging it. You're either accepting the Biden administration, and if that's the case, then you should be impeached. If you disagree with the Biden administration's program, you should resign. That's where we are.
Will the gentleman yield? Will the gentleman yield?
Ms.